Thanks for tuning in to Cox Connections here on Cox 9. Once considered a luxury, access to the internet and technology has become essential to succeeding in school, getting a job, and actively participating in today's society. Yet more than half of low-income students do not have internet access at home, while 76% of K-12 teachers assign online homework. Students without internet access and digital skills struggle to keep pace, making it a challenge to compete with their homework. To bridge that gap, Cox recently launched Connect2Compete, a national nonprofit broadband adoption program. Here's a quick look.
We're here to celebrate the kickoff of Connect2Compete, which is Cox's broadband adoption effort.
We are extremely excited about Connect2Compete. As a company, we believe in supporting our youth and helping them to achieve academic success. Providing access to affordable internet services is only the first step in achieving a digitally active and engaged community.
So we are so vested and committed to bridging the digital divide, to providing affordable broadband access to these young people, because we know it is literally the key to their success.
There are kids today who are struggling because more and more assignments are being sent home from teachers, and you have to have access to the internet in order to complete those assignments. And if you don't have access to the internet, you don't have a PC in the home, it just causes that gap to widen. And that's not something that this community can afford, this state, the Commonwealth of Virginia, or this nation.
We are really excited about this wonderful program with Connect2Compete and Cox's sponsorship of this. It's really important for our children to have access to the internet because of the digital vision that we have, and digital learning is all around us. Much of the education we have really relies on internet access.
Here to tell us more about Connect2Compete are Cox, Virginia's Public Affairs Specialist, Margaret-Hunter Wade, and Roanoke County Public Schools Community Relations Specialist, Chuck Lionberger. Thank you both for being on the show.
It's a pleasure being here.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kim.
Margaret-Hunter, tell us a little bit about Connect2Compete.
Sure, this is really exciting for Cox because Connect2Compete is a national nonprofit initiative in which their aim is to extend broadband internet access to families with financial need. And Cox has partnered with them to bring this program into our markets, and more specifically to provide internet access to families with need right here in the Roanoke Valley for $9.95 per month.
Wow, so who is eligible for the program specifically?
So it has to be a family with a student K through 12, and one of those students within the family has to be a participant in the National Free School Lunch Program.
Okay.
That's the eligibility requirement.
Okay, so Chuck, how is this going to benefit the schools here in the Valley?
Oh, well, it's going to benefit our students, most importantly. You mentioned that the teachers now are assigning a lot of homework that they need, the student needs access to some sort of online resource. Gone are the days that, back when you and I and all were in school, where we had just the textbook and you flipped through the textbook and all the information you needed was right there. Those days are gone. Now the textbook is all online. Instruction is all digitally oriented so that teachers are going and having students not just consume content and read it, but they're interacting with that content. They are sometimes physically manipulating data so that they can not just consume, but really be interactive with that content. Because of that, students need access to those online resources. And so for Cox to be able to provide access to students to have internet access, to be able to manipulate and use all this online content is very, very beneficial to all of our students across the entire Roanoke Valley.
Yeah, it really is. So Margaret-Hunter, for those eligible, how long will a Connect2Compete customer receive this benefit?
Sure. Okay, so I mentioned it's $9.95 per month, and that actually extends for 2 years. So they'll be eligible for 2 years. In addition to getting that rate, we also provide them with their modem, a refurbished modem, at no charge. So we really want to make this accessible and easy for them to use.
Okay, so any other fees for those who are eligible?
That's what's so great about this program. There are no additional fees. There's no deposit required. And so that allows them to have that $9.95 for 2 years, and there's no contract that's needed either. So they don't have to sign up for anything. The only thing that we require, other than that participation in the National Free School Lunch Program, they obviously have to live in our footprint, which is Roanoke City, Roanoke County, or the town of Benton. And then beyond that, they can't be an existing Cox high-speed internet customer.
Okay, good. So back to you, Chuck. I mean, you talked about the benefits, but I mean, just, the overall benefits to a student participating in a program like this?
Oh, sure. Now, again, as I mentioned, a lot of online resources. Today and in today's world, our high school students are doing things virtually. In fact, in Roanoke County, our high school students are required to take a virtual course. That means one course that they take, they won't actually even sit in a classroom. They take the entire course online.
Wow.
So obviously, if it's an online course, they need internet access to be able to do that, to be able to access all the resources, take the tests, write their papers, do all the various things that they do. Additionally, though, our world is much more of an online, digital world, where our K-12 students, after they graduate, they may have so many opportunities to do things in an online environment and learn in an online environment. The idea of online college is growing by leaps and bounds every single day. So for K-12 students to be able to get exposed to that and learning to use the online world for education is a huge benefit. So again, programs like this really do help students.
Right, it really does prepare them.
Yes, and that's the whole point, is so that kids today are learning 21st century skills, and one of those important skills is how to deal with and learn the technology, and also how to use it safely and appropriately.
Okay, yeah. So along with the discounts that are provided, it also provides a low-cost computer to the students. You mentioned the modem.
Right, yep. Okay. So we provide the modem, but then Connect2Compete has really done their due diligence with this to make sure that this is an accessible program. So if a computer might be a hurdle for one of our families, through Connect2Compete, they actually have partnered with the folks at Good PC, and they will provide a refurbished laptop or desktop computer to these families as well. And information can be retrieved about that at the Connect2Compete website. And beyond that, they also are providing digital literacy programs. So if a family doesn't know how to use a computer, or perhaps doesn't know how to access the internet, or what all the benefits might be that are associated with it, they can actually get that information through Connect2Compete as well.
Okay, great.
Or there's a 1-800 number which they'll put up as well. And if they're specifically interested in the Cox services, it's connect2compete.org/Cox.
Okay, thank you both for being on the show. Great program. And thank you for watching Cox Connections. Before you go, I want to personally thank you for choosing Cox Communications for your entertainment, information, and communication needs. We know you could have chosen another provider, but because you chose us, we promise to provide you with quality products backed up by a talented local team of professionals. I'm Kim Stanley, and I'll see you next time on Cox Connections.